So going into chapter 4, building bridges, and this concept of human AI trust engineering, what steps can we take to calibrate trust in AI systems?
It's important to understand trust is like a thermostat. It's not a switch that you just put in and out. So by measuring uh, your systems and the trust around it, you can implement trust checkpoints into your enterprise systems. Regular moments where humans must verify AI or decision before proceeding with high-stake actions. So that's and you can automate it, and that's what we do at Ultra Deep Tech. And then we create solutions that uh, automate and allow the enterprise to build trust checkpoints in the enterprise.
How can we monitor and affect trust issues?
The key here is to look at the human, not at the AI. So, for example, you have like user feedback. You can collect real-time user surveys or reviews or complaints. You have performance metrics. You can monitor the AI output for anomalies, churn rates, errors. You have the behavioral analytics, so you can track user behavior, uh, like, for example, hesitation. You can track the sentiment analysis, emotion of the user. You can track the toxicity, for example, if the user is angry or hateful, that might be an indication of the trust level of the user for your solution, and a lack of confidence from the user. And from the side of the AI, you have all the other ways to detect. For example, you can detect hallucination of the AI systems, uh, and so it's important to have audit logs. For example, you maintain logs of every AI decisions that your AI systems has made, and you trace input and output of the users for source of mistrust. And then finally you have tools that slightly explain that can explain how the AI and interpret the AI frameworks that you are using, and to make decision more transparent and address the trust gaps as much as you can through explainability. So for the enterprise, it's like a healthy system maintains the engagement with the users and track the user interaction through time.
I'm thinking about um, high stakes environments where everything that could happen is very, very important, has high impacts. How do we ensure that AI stays trustworthy in these high stake environments?
You need to build systems that like give confidence score into every AI output, and allow humans to review, and to whatever is going below a certain threshold, bringing the human interventions. So a key is to measure. And this is again this new notion of trust that I'm building in the book, and not only in the book but also in the enterprise with our solutions, is that to be able to measure new aspects of interaction between humans and AI with real metrics, and track those metrics and give them thresholds. Wherever these metrics go below a certain threshold that we assess and we determine depending on the use case, human comes in and deal with the situation.
How do cultural differences affect trust in AI?
It's a notion that is pretty important to understand, that trust it is not absolute. It depends on the use case, the situation, the objective, and it's also depend on factors like culture. For example, you look at Japanese people, for example, they bow down to robots, and they look at them as helpful spirits. In the West, we disconnect the robots at night. We are looking to have control over them. So there are huge differences in collectivist cultures. For example, in the East, Asian culture are collectivists. And so basically, versus individualistic cultures like in the West. So where here in the West, we care more about data privacy and control, in other cultures, they look at AI more into a way to solve the problems of the community and the group. So they approach it in very different ways. So it's important in the enterprise to customize AI interface by different place in the world and to adapt to the culture. That's another new concept that is going to become more and more important for enterprises when they address an international audience.
How can AI systems be designed for customer confidence?
So again, it's very important to understand, like, don't try to be perfect. Your customers will be aware of the flaws. The important is not to hide your AI system flaws, but to be transparent and to show them and to announce it being authentic. And so in order to do that, you need to be able to measure the trust level of your AI assistant and to just show it to the customer. And that's how you build trust when you use AI facing customers. So make AI decision making visible and explainable at every customer touch points.
What are the metrics that we have available in order to measure trust in AI interactions?
So all those, metrics that about to measure trust, this is a brand new concept. So as the same notion as Trust 2.0, this is what I'm talking about in the book. But when you translate this into the enterprise, this is a whole new science of measuring the satisfaction and the trust level of customers. So one of the way you do that, and we have developed at Ultra Deep Tech, is to measure basically not the positive outcome, but the negative outcome. And the reason is because trust is broken. It can be broken in 1 second, very easily. Trust is defined by its negative outcome, by the failures of your system. Not when a system works well, nobody noticed. Your customer is going to notice when the system is going to fail. So the metrics that we have developed in our solutions and help customers increase their profit and reduce their costs is by measuring everything that goes around the silence, the churn rate, the failures of the system. And by measuring every aspect of the interaction of your system and with techniques that we have developed, we are able to build a trust index that we use to increase profits and reduce costs in the enterprise.
How do we maintain consistency across different trust levels?
So, for example, when you have different categories of customers, some of them are more dissatisfied than others about your solution, your AI products, or the interaction they have with your company. So it's important to be able to measure that and to understand where your customers stand, and to layer those different levels of trust and to address each layer independently. So the company needs to build layered interface and address different customers depending on the trust level that they have for the solution at each stage.
Do you have any examples of brands balancing between automation and human touch?
If you look at the most trusted companies out there, they don't fully rely on AI. They have a healthy balance between AI and human interaction. An example that comes to mind is Airbnb, for example. They use a lot of AI in their interaction with their customers. But whenever you want to talk to a human, you're able to do so. And so there is a high level of trust from customer toward this company, because you can always, access humans whenever you want. And that's the important things.